All right, thanks everybody. Welcome. Today's December 4th. This is an exclusive Harmonic Pattern Collection software webinar for the TradingView product. Okay, there are other platforms. Today we're just going to focus on TradingView. I think that's a platform everyone should have. And of course, this is all related to Black Friday, Cyber Monday special, 30% off. The thing to do, if you for some reason do not have the software, immediately go get the 14-day free trial. Send your TradingView username to HPC at sr-analyst.com. Everybody in here and listening to the recording should have the program, trial or otherwise. And then the Black Friday deal, that's once a year. It's going to expire next week, and we're going to phase it out, and it's gone forever, or at least for the rest of the year. Also, all the resources are available to everybody free as a basic member. Just go to HarmonicTrader.com. Okay, so if you're brand new, that's my recommendation. Get on over there, review the program, the software program, get that free trial, and then become a basic member. All the stuff that I'm going to go through quickly today will be set up, what's included, and then some strategy. And then we'll take your requests. Everything's good. Yes, we are recording the session. This will be available. I'll post it on the Discord. So that is the other thing that you should be connecting with is our Discord platform. Okay, all of it is available here on the basic members page, all of that information. We don't email, it's an email sign up, but I don't do marketing stuff unless you're subscribing or you've got premium content. I'll put the Discord link. There's the Discord. Okay, and I'll put that in the chat for everybody to join the Discord. Great. And again, if you're brand new, there's no need to subscribe. Go through all of the free stuff, including the trials. I would much prefer everyone to have that knowledge for 2 weeks before, just jumping in. So installation, again, on the TradingView platform, send it to HPC at sr-analyst.com. These are the other platforms: MetaTrader, eSignal, Signal, NinjaTrader, Sierra Chart, and Thinkorswim. Okay, let's talk about the modules, the setup of the modules. All right, and how to just dig into the platform going forward. Let me do it this way. Great. So inside the platform, we have all of the My Invite right here, the invite only, and it's all of those. It's AMP RSI, HSI, HSI arrows, combo, and then I'll show it to you in the platform itself. There you go. So when you log in to TradingView, and my recommendation is to get their basic subscription. It's like 20 bucks a month, but you can run on a free subscription. You don't need to subscribe to their premium. You're only going to be able to run 3 indicators. You go into the indicator section here. You go to invite only. So that's trial or otherwise. And then you load all of that: AMP, HSI, HSI arrows, combo. And then we do have a watch list. I'll review that in a second. But those are the, what's that? That's 6 modules because, well, that's actually as a test. 5 complete modules. I'll break them all down. What obviously you want to get into the patterns, and the patterns look like this. That's HPC combo, and all the updates we've done, they're also included going forward. But here are the patterns. Okay, important to understand that they're not a million harmonic patterns. I got into it with some people recently about different variations. No, that's just not the case. Okay, the bullish, the bearish, the bat, alternate, bat, crab, deep crab, butterfly, Gartley. Gartley at an 886, although it's pretty much the same. The shark and an ABCD. Here's something to consider as well. I only look at confirmed patterns, but you can click on show pending and show potential. And as patterns are coming to completion, they will outline them. I prefer just to look at confirmed patterns because I believe there's enough time always in a setup where it's going to require several days or several bars before it's even an opportunity. And then we have these other settings here where you can highlight, increase the text size, all of the color variations are there. And that relates to all of the pattern labels. So everything you see here, illustrated, dot, arrow, pattern, levels, these are all automatically generated, calculated, and I'll get into why that's really critical. We really want a uniform method of identifying patterns first and foremost. Hold on. Thank you. Let's go back to this. So add all the, add all of those. And then here's the real starting point of why we're utilizing the importance of the standardized identification parameters. I think it's helpful to learn all of the different pattern structures, absolutely. And it's great for the comprehension, but for opportunities, it's critical that we line up these by looking at only those that meet the standardized algorithms that are all it's above and beyond just retracement ratios. Let me kind of go to here's an example. This is Clean Spark, and we're going to go to a number of different crypto examples and stocks. I'll work through all of this, but you could obviously look at something like that and say, all right, that's clear X, A, B, C, D. The B point at a 618, the B point in any MW structure is one of defining limits, and that's how we know, is it a Gartley? Is it a bat? But your projected and measured level, okay, that's never going to be the exact spot. We're looking at that area, but then we break it down. So uniform identification, critical to know, do I hit it at a 786? Am I looking at an 886? How do I know it's a retracement pattern? How do I know it's an extension pattern? All right, a lot there to consider, where what the software does is it makes a lot of complex calculations pretty easy to serve it up, not only where to be looking for the opportunity, but where is it going? We'll look at that too. We're going to look at all aspects. I'll review stuff that we've talked about in the last month or two, and we're going to look at some current examples. I mean, here's Clean Spark right now, and everything that we've talked about with Clean Spark, and this is something I've mentioned in some live streams, is that it's a type 1, and I'll get to what is a type 1, what is a type 2, but that's it. That's the max, that's the magnitude of your trade. That's the magnitude of what's available to you according to the pattern, according to the targets, and now we'll come back for the type 2. So being able to identify not only the correct pattern, but is it a type 1? Is it a type 2 pattern? Type 1 reaction, type 2 reversal? Those are all critical. So again, go back here. Remember, these are the only patterns. Hold on. Sorry. Those are our only patterns. Okay, these are the only harmonic patterns. These are based on the books that I released years ago. Sorry, here you go. And they're the only harmonic patterns that I consider harmonic. I've seen other variations. I won't name names, but they're not harmonic. There is an essence to why harmonic patterns work in their identification. They have to require proper ratios, proper AB equals CD metrics, along with fitting within those ratio alignments within prescribed tolerances. You can't just have random ratios. Really critical to understand that. Once you get on the software, and I know most of you do have it, it doesn't take long to see what's going on, that, wow, okay, the patterns are putting my eyeballs in the proper area to be looking for opportunities. But what defines the opportunity is what I consider a critical step with confirming a pattern, which is some kind of indicator extreme. I started with relative strength index. Everyone knows relative strength index. You can get it as a free indicator, but you're looking for the indicator to define the relative movement as extreme or not, and then lay that on top of the proper pattern metrics. What we're doing with HSI, harmonic strength index, is an advancement of RSI. You guys know I've talked a lot about it. And then some of the kind of refinements of the new HSI dot is the final kind of stamp for any opportunity. So we combine the levels with the dot, and what the HSI dot represents is an internal divergence. I'll get to that in a second. Let's take a look. Let me go to, let's just go back to, I think like Cardano is a great one, because we had a lot of pattern metrics down here. And this is one that had a lot of properties where we talked about why this was so harmonic. Where's my, sorry, where's the bat pattern on that one? Was it Cardano? No, yeah, here it's the bat. And same with XLM. Those are probably the two crypto that we've hit quite well. And Cardano was after it doubled. I'll get to that in a second, but we're looking for the zone. Okay, so the software kicks out the zone. How do you know? Because here's an example, and it's something I get a lot of questions on. Well, the software illustrated the pattern from that point. Why wouldn't it be all the way down here? There are relative measurements on the B point. Okay, there's ABCD dynamics that all have to backtest and fit within the range. So you're not going to see always great pattern opportunities off exact high or low pivot points. You might get these intermediate zones, but they work. And so the whole gist of what we're looking for is for the software to kick out this T1. That's a type 1. That's a starting point. And then that's where the pattern completes. The terminal bar is established, terminal bar being the price bar that hits the final level in the zone. But where's the opportunity? Because you had a whole bunch of bouncing around before anything happened. Opportunity for the yellow dot, and is simply stated, that's what we're looking for. T1 and then a yellow dot. It's the easiest way to kind of put it all together, and the whole execution opportunity process begins after that dot. And we're going to look through a bunch of examples, because even this one was not as clean as, say, like XLM, but it puts your eyeballs in the right ballpark. Pattern completion, T1. Okay, this was less than ideal in terms of time, but you see how price action stabilized. And then the second trigger there came in October, still in the zone. And then what happened is the green line right there, it went on. What is the green line? It relates to the dot. So the two advancements we've done to try to really simplify it visually is that you can have all of them, HSI dot, HSI arrow, what have you, but we're looking for this situation, dot, and then a retest of that bar. What the dot means is that it's the signal, it's the retest of the signal. So here's HSI, gets oversold. It's designed to be early, so we wait until not only it pops out, but there's a retest. That's the kind of final divergence where you know you're up against a big harmonic zone. And now you're getting individual divergence, kind of the last retest in this area. And you're looking for then the turnaround after that combination of events. Some of the other things that we look at, okay, this bottom indicator that's called amplified RSI. That's another advancement of RSI, the formula. Think of it as like a hyperactive relative strength index. I use that more as a complementary measure to see, okay, are we above the 50 level? Did we have a confirmation on oversold? But the primary metric we're using for confirmation is harmonic strength index. Let's go to XLM. Let's just show you, a lot of you guys, I know you followed along on XLM. Okay, what were the reasons why? And why did it work so well? XLM, go to my X page. I was all over that. XLM is right here. So XLM was 9 to 10 cents. We had a whole bunch of stuff down here, several patterns. There was daily, I know there was weekly oversold. And then it was a type 2, meaning this original pattern had the reaction, came back for the retest. And then look at how many times we had confirmation. That's what we're looking for. Pattern completion, then yellow dot. And again, confirming here on the weekly too. This was the other combination. As many of you know, I was saying, get us daily type 2 patterns and weekly oversold. Real simple strategy to look for confirmation on the higher time frame against a pattern that would trigger. Those were all the reasons. And that took months. That still took months. One of the things that really stuck out for us as well, that HSI, again, got above the 50 level. And that was like 2-3 months before the major move. But that's how it's designed. We look at this as a leading indicator, and we don't take action unless that is demonstratively showing a positive direction that matches up with the pattern. But those were the basic kind of thesis. And again, with everything that would happen there with XLM, I mean, it was several patterns, and there was many patterns in a lot of crypto that lined up to send it. That's XLM. Let's take a look here also. So yeah, let's go back to this slide here. So we're utilizing some kind of relative strength measure. So we know that the price action has moved far enough combined with the level that should pinpoint the zone. And then the HSI dot is the last little price mechanism. So what we're looking for and how we expect it is we look for the dot. Okay, here we have software kicked out T1 designation, type 1. Notice it goes to a reaction. I'll get into this in a second, but then the retest. This is based off a standard technical analysis logic that says initial inflection, retest, confirmation of support or resistance. And so the whole opportunity really didn't even start until, what was that, 2 months after the original completion. T2 dollar sign, there's your dot, and we start looking after the dot. There's a bunch of these. I should do Bitcoin as well. I'll go to that in a second. Okay, hold on. Okay, so let's talk about the different trade management types, because we talked about type 1 reaction, type 2 reversal. Then we have the type 1 going to T1 dollar sign. That's the treatment of it. Type 1, T1 designation goes to target 1. Although a lot of crypto has been going to target 2, but we treat it as target 1. Type 2 goes to target 2. Now, why is that? Because it's the T2 is the retest of the initial move. So think of the pattern And I think this is what gets people a lot with the patterns is especially the first time they hit, they can have an amazing immediate reaction and then not follow through. And if you're not aware of this kind of behavior, you're going to sit on your hands on a lot of opportunities where they pop up really hard and they look like they're going to go on forever and they run right into the target, T1 dollar sign, T1, T1 dollar sign, and then it rolls over. It doesn't take more than like 2 or 3 bars to know that that's not blowing through and it comes in all the way back down for the retest. So T2, obviously, we like those better, confirmed levels, confirmed zones with a dot. Um, Let me see, where's the Bitcoin situation? Wanted to show this with Bitcoin. So Bitcoin down. We know, here's the thing on Bitcoin, a great T1 situation currently unfolding. And this is why I've been saying that we're in a pause, is there's the crab pattern on the daily. And again, let me just show software is kicking it out off of not that extreme, but this extreme. Why? The symmetry is better. I say just trust the software. But we got up here, we're looking for just a reaction. And then the dot that came in a few bars later. So if we were thinking this was going to be a short opportunity, it wasn't until about 7, 8 days after the initial completion. I've talked about why I just think this is a sideways pause, and you're seeing it react right off the hop. The hop, that's the top range of the zone. It's called harmonic optimal price. What does that mean? We deal with zones. All the patterns are designed to create a zone that we then, like a window, are looking into that area for specific behavior. So bearish zone, okay? I'm looking for confirmation in that window. And I'm certainly not longing. There are places where we can try to long these failed patterns, but it's not when you're completing or even have confirmation. Really critical. Yeah, Adam, when we go to T1, we're looking for that to be just the reaction move. Again, looks like this. Remember, this is the basic model, the T1, T2 model. There's the bullish pattern. Type 1 reaction. The two targets are 382 and 618. Now, there's some things we'll obviously look at. We go step by step on all of these, but you look for that. Does it blast through the T1 zone? No. If it doesn't, start to roll over, you can anticipate that type 2 return. And then you're looking for confirmation on the retest for the larger reversal. Here's Bitcoin currently. Now, we're looking for a pause. I'm not saying anything other than that. And it's been quite strong into the zone, but I'm expecting this huge move to basically digest for several bars. Digest what has happened from 60 to like a 40% move in a very short period of time. Nothing goes straight up forever. Nothing, you have to go up to go down. You have to go down to go up. So we're looking for just a reaction. The reaction does not have to be to T1, although that's the objective. We typically look for individual price bar reaction. Like here's a strong pattern, runs right into the zone, hit completes the zone. Then we start looking for individual bearish bars, bearish confirmation. You got that 5, 6 days later. Now what? Are we really going to 76, 356 on Bitcoin? I don't think so, but that's the expected reaction. I will look for that in this zone or until my next oversold reading, meaning we can get a counter HSI signal. Here's HSI clearly under the 50 level, which is always a good sign if we're looking for that larger move. And we're still kind of rolling down here. I want to see this for Bitcoin in the next week. Okay, something like that. Until that happens, we treat that as a pause reaction. Not to mention, here's amplified. Amplified RSI came out of the zone. Can you get under the 50 level? And then that should really send it. Wherever that next counter HSI signal, if it gets oversold at 89 or 86 or even 76, that's the next spot. Again, it fits right within our model here. This is the model: type 1 reaction, type 2 return, type 2 reversal. There are things that we look at each step in the way, but we treat the one as a reaction, the return, which is a great setup in a lot of situations. And there's some back-to-back pattern opportunities I'm looking at currently that have this. And then the larger move is a type 2 reversal. Right now, type 1 on Bitcoin. Here's Ethereum, which absolutely blasted off finally back at 2,800. Here we go on the daily. And this, there you go. Okay, so this is, here's Ethereum. We had the bat pattern right off the low. Wasn't doing anything up until, really right after the election. The bat pattern had the type 1 reaction. Even though this thing has blasted off, it still had to go through that type 1 reaction. In this case, it went past T1, it went all the way to T2. Put in a yellow dot right there. When you see that, we're treating that reaction as over. And we start to look for what is called the return move. And this is a strategy I've been talking about. We're going to use it a lot because a lot of these patterns are already played out, and we're going to have to position off the next levels. But we're looking for that return to retest the pattern. With crypto and this intense cycle, what we really want are these patterns to form, then look for another opportunity here where it then blows off and goes through and fails on the type 2. How do you know if it's going to fail on the type 2? Tell me where the dot is. You're looking down here, 27, 2,900, but there's no dot until 3,500. That's how the confirmation comes in. All right. The expected window as well, if we're looking at any pattern, especially in a type 1, is 30 bars. If it's 30 days, 30 hours, doesn't matter. So you can just project that out manually, and then there's 30 bars. Tell me what happened in that window. So that not only within the price levels, but the time objective, you know how much time to give this and how much price. And if we can look at that and say, all right, there's the 30 bar window, tell me what's happening. It did the 1, it failed the 2. So that reaction's over and this thing's going higher. But we needed that return move. This is a lot like what happened with Cardano. And I told you guys I was completely wrong about Cardano, dismissing it at 30 cents. Where was it? No, that's from earlier in the year. Where's the, sorry, I need to get back to the bat pattern. All right, here it is. Here's the bat. Okay, and here was the type 1, and it blew off. Now, this was retesting 2 levels around 70 cents. I said, this is super strong. And look what's going on here with this crazy little short-term move. And that for me, that was the trigger. It was like 51, 53 cents where it did that and then blew off through the return move. So that's why we only think about this as reaction. No confirmation, just kept on blowing through. As you guys know, I've kind of scaled out of some crypto in the last 48 hours, and I think we're going to get the pullback I've been waiting on now. A couple more. How about just really clean harmonics, like Binance Coin? Here's another one. This is daily. Again, this whole reaction, T1 generated goes to T1 dollar sign. That's it. It's over. And then the return move blasting through. This was even better on the weekly. Check this out. So here you go. And this is really helpful also to illustrate why type 1 reactions are merely that. You get the T1 here. That's weekly, guys. T1 there. HSI completes. There's the dot. So we start looking to the right of that dot in that zone for the reaction. Hits target 1. Quick note about the shark. We don't have the 5-0 pattern built in. I think we're going to add that soon. All it really is, you go shark to 5-0. You use the T1 level because that is the move for the shark. Shark to 5-0. And that's what happened here. But the better confirmation, even though T1 was 414, better confirmation was like 510. And we knew it would run back to the hop at 725. Still no confirmation here. And we can just, again, monitor HSI. This is in a really strong position. I'm not thinking that is has any confirmation until we get all the way to the overbought. Amplified overbought, but you can monitor that. And HSI is designed to go from extreme to extreme. Just wait for the dot. It's still up. Let's get to those finer points in a minute, DP. He's asking about extended hours versus regular trading hours for futures. That does matter. I just really want to highlight one, the importance of understanding that a type 1 is just a reaction, level to level, especially dot to dot. Type 2, that's where you need a little more discernment, but it was simplified with HSI, the HSI dot. Again, here's the illustration. Think of it like that. That's the framework. When I talk harmonic pattern framework, I'm not only talking ratios, retracement pattern, extension pattern, I'm talking type 1 reaction, type 2 return, type 2 reversal, and how to move from one to the other. Let's look at a couple of immediate opportunities, stocks and crypto. So here's type 1. Let's look at this type 1 in AMD right now. And this is a daily chart. We've got a couple things, but daily chart. Literally, I'm trying to serve you guys up opportunities that are happening literally right now. There's a ton of stuff as well. You can go back to my X feed and all the stuff that I've talked about, things that have played out incredibly well in the last couple of months. Just look at my X feed. But here are things happening now. So advanced micro devices. Doesn't seem like it's doing much. It's been downtrend for most of the last 6 months. Just completed the bat pattern. No confirmation. Where's my dot? It's not here. But we're still in an early price reaction mode. What I would look for, probably simple reaction. We're 136 3 days ago to 149 and then come back down for the retest. So this is one way that I would line it up, that I would know, all right, I'm not worried about AMD getting away from me. There's no confirmation. Okay, no dot to simplify it. Versus, say, and we have a back-to-back several pattern situations going on, but there was the Gartley that preceded this, yellow dot. Even that went from 173 down to 154 and had a reaction off of T1. This is also something that, again, spend time with the software. Look, you capture that T1 reaction, your job is done. Don't worry about the rest of it. These are some of the psychological trips your brain's going to go through when you get into it. Your brain's going to think, oh, I could have caught more. No, T1 to T1 dollar sign. Be on a mission to secure that segment and you will do great. AMD right now, not as crazy about it on the long side. There's no dot, but it's something that I will bring up and we can follow through in the next few weeks, see how that plays out. But I would say right now that's only a reaction 149 and probably a retest a little bit later. One other thing that I would look at, what's the longer term? I like to do kind of a cross of daily versus weekly, or if it's intraday, I look at 60-minute versus 5-minute. And the weekly has this big bearish pattern here, the shark pattern. It's kind of like Bitcoin, just did a nominal reaction, came down. We got a dot, but not a heck of a lot going on here. I would even want to see amplified go back up, HSI back above the 50, but that's one of the reasons why the weekly is not doing much. We're just scraping that bearish zone. Let's look at something not scraping. So check out NVIDIA. And this is doing the type 2 return right now. I mean, it's on an uptrend. Also, look, the last couple of weekly dots on NVIDIA, HSI arrows have just been massive continuation. But here's a great setup that just kind of came in a few days ago. Deep crab. All right. Only a reaction. That's it. T1 off that 1618 back down to T1 is 133. Go back to 149 right now. But just the point here, notice how it only did the reaction T1 to T1 dollar sign. No confirmation down here, but I would expect this thing to go back, retest the pattern. Okay, that's just get in the habit of recognizing T1 reaction. That's it. And that this is the framework: reaction, return, reversal. Another one. Here's a type 2 reversal. Big stock, Eli Lilly. Was it daily or weekly? Daily. All right, this is a beautiful one, okay? And this happens a lot where, especially if you're trying to do it by hand, it can be incredibly frustrating. But Lilly did the type 1 reaction all in one bar and still required that it not only come back for the retest, but all the way back down. Now, this one, where's the dot? Because you had two dots here. You had that dot, but it's not after the T2. You're going to miss out on some opportunities, but if you play it that way where you look for the T2 designation, then the dot in the zone, that's your easiest optimization of all of this. Again, it's going to take some hours of just working through the patterns to get this experience. But this is the kind of opportunity I'm lining up. And then look, the dot forms, you put out the green line, that dot trigger is the open bar, 735.79. The low is 735. And we're not only going to T1, that I would say I'm already gunning for T2, 893. Why? Because it's a type 2. Reaction, bang, reversal with confirmation, go back up. Yep, I can get through some of those requests. Let me work through the rest of these. Couple other examples. So understand the type 1 reaction. That's why you're getting that quick reaction and retest. If you're not aware of that, the simple way to get through it is look for T2 with the dot. Next example situation, back-to-back patterns. Let's look at AIOZ. So AIOZ was another one, big winner for us with multiple patterns, back-to-back patterns. It is remarkable. Now, how do you know which pattern? Well, do you have a T1? Do you have a T2? Because this one did a type 1, came back. There's the type 2, and yet it formed another Gartley that did a type 2 and a third bat pattern. You're looking for dots and T2 designations. All of that was there at 37 cents. And this was one that not only daily, but we had weekly HSI. Remember, type 2 daily, weekly oversold has been our recipe all along. This is a price discovery candidate for AIOZ. But that phenomenon of multiple patterns, especially when you're doing back-to-back patterns, is something to take note of. And this whole crypto cycle has been kind of a delayed movement for the last several months, but we have been stacking patterns like that on a lot of candidates that are, yes, you treat them as a bit more harmonic, having greater potential than maybe just a single pattern. But the type 2 retest is really what you're looking for. And then the bullish to bearish, I did that already with Cardano. And Cardano was, again, we had bullish patterns here. And then the bearish type 1 reaction down, and then go for to basically fail, to go through like that. That's the general strategy when you have a formation, especially in such a strong market like we're in, where we're looking for those kind of setups, where the bearish pattern is kind of like a launching pad for off of the reaction. There was another one. Hold on. Hold on. I think it was Bitcoin, actually. Well, Bitcoin had, let's do a quick breakdown here on Bitcoin, because Bitcoin had preceding this, remember, we had a few different things. We had the daily pattern, some back to back. Here's the weekly. Hold on 1 second. Okay. Trying to get where's the Binance feed? There it is. So back to back, this had the shark, and then I know we had some 4-hour patterns here, but this was the return move that didn't get all the way to T1. Why? Because we had dots. Hold on. There was one other one. Well, here's something immediate right now. So here's Dodge Lawn. This is another one I've mentioned before. Now, this one, I've already longed this and adding to it. This has gone from bullish to bearish, now bullish again. We have some patterns looking left, multiple patterns here. Okay, butterfly to Gartley, back-to-back situation. That's important. And now we have bullish to bearish, where we went from shark to 5-0, and this is an exact spot where we're looking for the move higher. Okay, and that's back up to this 3/millionths of a penny or whatever it is, as high as 4. But the dynamics are there, and what hasn't happened yet? We haven't gotten the price to follow through yet. But everything is there. That's the exact series of patterns that I'm talking about, where we've got bullish type 2s all over the place, bearish reaction, and now blast through. One or two more. Okay, let's go through these opportunities. I'm going to go through these for crypto, and these are a few more kind of brand new ideas you guys can dig into. There's a lot of things that have already moved, so hopefully maybe this brings a few more onto you, onto your radar. Let's look at Solana. We know Solana, the big move is to 335. That's the big target. Solana up here, hitting the hop level, okay, currently of that bat pattern. And we're looking for this, basically do a grind, pause. Now come down to either the first of T1 at 168 or get oversold. Are we oversold yet? No. But again, Am I going to long into Solana? Hell no, not right now. But if we get this kind of a situation, Solana comes in, registers oversold, also amplified RSI, that's clearly under the 50. So we know Solana has some more work to do. But if we're going to get the bigger return move, it's after that reaction. I saw something on a 4-hour chart as well down here. Here you go. So here's the bat pattern. And I was just saying, look for basically 170 is the measured level, somewhere between there. And now we have a 4-hour bat pattern. Did the reaction, come back down, I think 218 or 204, but clearly type 1 reaction, T1 dollar sign. Now we're in the return phase. That's another reason why with a lot of these, I'm looking for the retracement now. Couple more. Theta. Things you're probably not looking at. Here's Theta token. What's up here? Theta is nothing but, is that what I was looking for? Maybe it's a back-to-back situation, but let me see here. Oh, Theta, I know why. Okay, multiple patterns. Massive weekly pattern. All of that's around $3. Okay, look at the confirmation was like 115. I think this is there's a bearish pattern here. It escapes me. I'm looking for the pullback on Theta from basically 3, but with everything there, there's a lot there for this thing to go to all-time new highs, but it's not yet. Let's go to Near Protocol. Near Protocol was one that we've been on for a while. Okay, look, another bat pattern, bearish. T1 has been generated. Look, T1, no confirmation yet, but I'm still looking for reaction down, maybe to 560. And so I wouldn't get long this. I'm not longing this, but then the return move to set us off. There's several of these. Assemble, ACS, Access. This is, yeah, it's on Coinbase. Oh, that popped today. Hi. That popped today. Here's the weekly on ACS. Okay, so just coming off the low right now. Where is it, 4-hour? Yeah, little patterns here on the 4-hour chart. Come on. This is what it was. So weekly oversold, daily patterns looking left, butterfly, everything. It's still a type 1 up to 3/10 of a penny. I'll be looking for this probably soon. Give me the next oversold. I think that's what it was. Hasn't really completely moved. Oh, this ABCD thing. So there was the ABCD back down basically 1.8, 0.18 tenths of a penny, yet to move. Here's one that I think is a lot of you know about and maybe some of you chased. It's Peanut. Now, this is this crazy meme squirrel meme coin. But I know a lot of people that chased this right up at $2 thought this was going to go all the way. It's a T1 with confirmation, came back for the T2, no confirmation. I'm still looking at this around 95 cents. I have not hit this yet, but I'm watching. It's on a 4-hour chart. I think the daily, no, that it on a different feed. I need to get one with the MEXC feed is probably the best. Or maybe it was an hourly. Hourly, yeah. So we're almost oversold again. It's somewhere between 95 cents and $1. But that's a great one. Don't chase it. I really exemplifies why we don't need to chase. We're going to get setups. Oh yeah, back to back on the daily as well. So a lot going on there. I think we can get it back into the zone. The green line, again, utilize that green line, even especially when we have these type twos where they are extended. It's still a valid opportunity. Let's uh let's look at two or three stocks. Let's start with the SPY, and the SPY really good for the whole market. And I think this is a great breakdown for all harmonic patterns. Hold on. Let me get ES futures. There we go. Oh, I know why. Also, I've got the ABCD on. Sometimes it's better to take the ABCD off and just look at the complex structures. There you go. You're going to get the patterns like that. So SPY, it's a massive S&P 500 is still this massive weekly and monthly deep crab pattern. Does that mean it's a short immediately? No. We need to see things in this zone before we can anticipate a reaction. 2 months ago, October close, that was the first time we saw a dot. So last month was the first time we could consider this as a bearish opportunity. And we know what happened. We were looking at that area and it blew through, now favoring the hop level 6179.75. Call it 6180. Also, look at what's going on with indicators. So if the T1 is really the first spot from a measured level perspective that we look, and you have no confirmation, so then October is the first spot. Just ask yourself, what's going on here? Okay. Is HSI oversold, overbought? Even simply, which way is this going? HSI monthly still going up, expanding. Non-confirmation, nothing yet. You need confirmation. And if anything did roll out, then this is the kind of the bigger deal. I'm watching amplified RSI. We don't even consider anything until that is out of the zone. So still go higher. 6189. We're currently 6080. We're less than 100 points away now. And that will happen, I think, in a week or so. We tag that hop level. Okay, I do like the hop level, especially for 5-minute charts. The hop is phenomenal for futures. Really quick, futures trading. So there are two ways to look at the futures. You can go RTH, regular trading hours, but you're going to get more patterns on electronic hours. Let me show you. Here's the 5-minute. Yeah. So great. Here's a butterfly. I'm just kind of working on the fly here. And look, the same strategies apply. There's the T1 reaction, but what happened? You got a counter HSI dot. That sends it. We never got to the full T1 level. You see that, you can play that return back up to the hop level, but you know that it's going to take more time. That's the biggest takeaway on from understanding the software and the T1 reaction. That's a short-term reactive move. That's it. That needs to be monitored. If we were looking for the larger reversal, the fact that we only had that reaction, we didn't even get to T1. We will not generate a T2 because one of the definitions of a T2 is it has to complete the T1. So it doesn't go there. That's another reason why that's still strong. It's not an opportunity. It doesn't take much to really understand that, hey, this butterfly only gave you a reaction. We go counter bullish HSI, and we don't even generate the next signal till well above the zone. That's failed. It's lost its mojo. This comes a lot easier with just working through a handful of charts for a few days. You start to see those differences. If you're brand new, take your time. That's the SPY deal. Here's a stock currently bottoming as we speak, KLA. Why do I say that? We had this daily setup, and we've been waiting on this for a while. Massive shark, and it's a type 2, 684, did the T1 up to T1 dollar sign, and then perfectly, this is what I'm talking about. There's your dot. So that's the final way to know that reaction's over, rolling back down, and came all the way back, hits the terminal bar, even the hop level about 2 weeks ago. Now we're turning. That's it. You're looking at the bottom right there. And you're looking at the bottom. We're framing this out where this is the low. You're going to T2. That's how you have some decision framework around this opportunity. You're looking for long entries in here for that to be a T2. That's now. Will's asking, when will you know when the SPY tops at the hop? You need confirmation. You need confirmation. My recommendation, go through 5-minute charts and see how the confirmation comes together. Also, okay, if you're looking for books, the book to go get, all right, come over here, go over to harmonictrader.com. All right, log in. And the book you want to review with all of these is Harmonic Trading Volume 3. And those are free downloads. Basic Member right there. Scroll it down. And all of this, probably the most updated, is Volume 3 right there. Volume 2 is an intensive workout of confirmation using RSI. I recommend that as well. But Volume 3 has everything. So check out Volume 3 and just work it through. It's a free download for the PDF. And I just sold out the last copy. So Volume 3 is not physically available at the moment, but you can get the PDF here. Okay. Work it through. Work through the confirmation, the 1, 2, all of that. All of that's available. It's a basic member. But KLAC, this is a really sweet situation, early development kind of a thing. And then if you just go back, I mean, we go to the weekly channel. It's a beautiful pattern inside of this massive bullish channel. And look what's going on even on the weekly. Bearish pattern in that channel, retesting that counter HSI. This pattern has failed. And you retested that low, and that was at 621. And you're already bottoming. You're week 3 into this reversal. Most people who are just looking at the trend channel would say, oh, okay, we're turning around at the median line. We know we've got a lot more here. So your 665, anything under 684 is valid from how I would look at this. And especially with the trend for a move to 864. A lot going on there. There was one other one. Clean Spark. Okay, my last stock, and then I'll take your requests. Clean Spark. Okay, this is a perfect type 1 Gartley against a larger pattern, but we know it's got to come back. So I'm targeting that at 1033 for the retest. I'm not going to worry that I'm going to miss out on some kind of major move because I already know this is in a type 1, finish the type 1 reaction. It can't get through the zone. We even had an HSI arrow down and now rolling over, just taking its time. Think of it this way. Every inflection requires 30 bars. If it's 5-minute or daily or whatever. So this is another way to understand how much time do I give it. So that's not until Christmas. I would not be surprised to see this return require another 2 weeks. So just line it up, set an alert, set a price alert, if you will, or even better, one thing that I like to do is like to set the alerts for the dots. And that's really easy to do. Click on the alert button up here. And what we want is HSI arrows. Where is it? HSI arrows. And what we want are the dots. So we want bullish. And we want the bullish dot. We also want that bullish dot to complete. And then for an extra kind of filter, I'll put in the 50 line and create the alert like that. So it'll go down, it'll form a dot, and then it will not register until I see when the dot forms, like last time. HSI dot formed here, but we did not break above the 50 level until there. I have several videos that everyone gets on how to set alerts, the HSI dot. Please check your email if you got a trial or anything from me. You guys got those videos. If you need them or want a reference, go check the Discord. But CleanSpark's another one where I know everyone's hopped up on the miners. Not yet. It's getting there, but 1033 is the mandatory retest level. I'm willing to let that go to be able to get it. Okay, let's go through what you guys have. Solana's got a bullish, hey, what's up, Muris? Bullish bat on the 4-hour. Did the type 1 reaction with the type 2 return be optimal? Yes. And we reviewed that. So Solana, we know. Here's the breakdown. We know we've hit some temporary, that's all. Temporary overbought levels. Why? It's a hop off the bat, yellow dot, and you can't blow through. If this was going to do something massive, it would have just continued. We've rolled down. So we're looking for a reaction, maybe back into the zone, maybe in back to the next HSI level. It's getting pretty close. And then cross-referencing that with a 4-hour chart, we do have patterns right off the top. And this is going to be our next set of strategies for a lot of these that have already mooned. They're going to give us bullish patterns right off the top. We want to pinpoint, okay, the next retest. We want this 218 minimum. I think 204. So Solana to load up on, it's somewhere back down there. Until we see some things come our way, like can you get me a bullish dot on the 4-hour at a minimum? Let it happen. And this is where your discipline and patience are going to pay off. And how do you know when to have patience and discipline? It's from this kind of a read. That's only a reaction. It needs a retest. Yeah, I want to load up on Solana, but I'm not going to do it until it hits at least 218. It's the same thing as what we talked about this summer when we were looking at Solana to come all the way back for the retest on that bat pattern. I think a lot of you remember this. We had the move up to 175. It came back down. And then our confirmation was how many months? It was like 6 weeks, 8 weeks later. But 120 was the number on Solana the whole time. The same way now, next step in the process, ran to the bat, could not bust through, let it come in, and we're looking for that next step up. Couple more. Bitcoin recovering, great. Bitcoin's a sideways grind. That's all. Bitcoin is a matter of time, not even price. Hold on. Yeah, I mean, look, it's going to do that. This is what a pause is all about. You're just kind of stuck at these numbers. You're letting air out of the tire. So it was down 1,000. It's back up to even on the day. That's great. What about the 4-hour chart? Nothing there. Just sideways grind. We're looking to optimize entries and points. So, okay, not a problem. What about a couple more? Justin wants to look at Celestia. Yes. Celestia hasn't even started to move yet. And that was a 4-hour. No, that was a daily back to back. Celestia had patterns. Look, this actually is a great one, my friend. Thank you for bringing it up. It's a big shark, and then it ran right into the butterfly. So let it come back in. It's going to come back for the T1. That's 694. Currently 850 something. So I like that, and I would expect that to finish its situation there and then blast off. Where you're looking for Celestia to go to 1250. It's still a T1. I like that. Anchor. Sure. Anchor's playing catch up, right? Yeah, there it goes. But okay, just like Solana, we're at a hop level, right around 5. And we're at the T1 off the shark. So eyes up. I mean, there's no confirmation yet. That could go as high as 6, but you're hitting some targets. So, I mean, I'm not longing here. No doubt, not longing. Let me just catch up here. What's up, Neil? Wants to look at Synapse, SYN. Did that really get it to $1? Sure did. $1.05. So you're looking for T1, obviously. But again, look. Hold on. There's a dot, but T1 was after the fact. So really we're looking delayed, like down there around 38 cents. And you're still gunning for 105. Are we overbought? Yeah, you're overbought. But again, HSI is early, expanding. So that should continue. Not even concerned about that until HSI does something like that. Remember, HSI has to be completely out. Look at the last time SYN popped. We went into the overbought and then we popped out of the zone. Look where you were when you formulated that signal. Gave you plenty of time to get out. So that's what this current reading has to do. It looks like it wants higher. Couple more. Let me catch up with you guys. AVAX for Danny. What's up, Danny? AVAX is like this. AVAX was another looping type 2, now 54. Wow. Remember 22 on that? Remember this? All the way up, came all the way back down for 22 at the hop. Now what do you have? You have a massive crab pattern. No confirmation. Incredible. Are we even close? No, we're not even close. Look, this is the thing where I would look at the pattern and I'd see this and say, that's still going up, or even amplified. Amplified still expanding in the zone. I think AVAX wants to do it now. I can't recommend getting in on that. Maybe if you had a 5-minute chart, any 5-minute patterns in the last 48 hours. Oh, yeah. I mean, there's a type 2. It's not the nicest. Kind of a shark. There's your confirmation, like 52 cents, $52. But that thing's already, like a lot of these, already skyrocketed. I'm looking for stuff more back-to-back concrete situations or play that return. What's up, DP? Wants to look at the QQQ. Is it RTH or ETH? QQQ on the hourly. All right, that's a 5-minute chart. I'm already looking at that high level HSI dot. That's actually really nice for today. I would expect this thing to continue. There's an hourly regular trading hours. Look at the butterfly. Okay. Any confirmation there? 521, no confirmation. Are we overbought? Yes, but we haven't pivoted out yet. Am I longing? No, not really. I mean, I kind of like it for a follow through move, but in terms of the swing area, maybe 524 on the top end for now. That's regular trading hours. If we look at ETH, extended trading hours, you're going to get a slightly different chart. You got confirmation up there, slightly different pattern. I would look at both. Be aware of both. But we do have on RTH, really nice pattern. And this was the crab pattern I was saying to the gold group 2 weeks ago that was going to be the low going into the end of the year. It was a perfect type 2 crab pattern. And that's, again, a reason why I'm looking at both ETH and RTH. Currently, I'm thinking both ETH and RTH say 520 to 524. You've got some resistance to deal with. Much like you had support down here. Could only be a reaction. But again, look, let's read it. Let's read the zones. Again, beautiful bat pattern that completed in the extended hours with a dot. But what happens? You spend 6 hours going sideways and then you form a counter dot. That counter signal is the way to interpret that your zone needs more time. You're going to go back, most likely when you see that, you go back to the hop level. I don't care what the pattern is. But that's the way to read it. And also, since we're only looking for reaction and it doesn't react like that, we know that's a powerful signal. Also, 30 bars. What's it doing from T1 to the right 30 bars later? 30 bars later, we have failed that pattern. And you failed it really within 15 with the counter signal. That counter signal against the zone is one of the easiest ways to basically bail out of a position if you see that. Why? Because the air was let out of the tire. Look, you had perfect pattern, HSI, then the dot, and look at what happens with HSI. The indicator goes to the oversold signal and then right back up. That means this is a dud. Couple more. How did I determine what would happen around Christmas? I think that was from earlier. Solana, I think you're talking about Solana. It's a 30-day, 30 bar situation. The pattern completed 30 days. Well, we're in that 30-day window, much like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is a 30-day window until December 11th. Let's look at a few more. Sandbox. So here's another one that I dismissed, which I should not have, but it is what it is. 102. Crab pattern on the hourly 103. So you know what I'm going to say. Where's the confirmation? Are we up there? No confirmation yet. Let's go back. Let's review Sandbox. I mean, this is pretty insane. It was a bat pattern. All the numbers were like 23 cents. That's just still amazing. And weekly, I think there's a massive pattern here. There is. So there's the massive bat pattern on Sandbox. Listen, another way where how do I know which crypto to go with? Work through weekly patterns for stuff like this. I thought this was like cemetery crypto, so there was other ones that I was favoring, but I have to kind of change my opinion. I think these are at least good for massive T1 recovery moves like 345. It's a T1 bat pattern on the weekly going back 4 years. That should get the T1 at 345. There's a bunch of them. Here's Gala. Gala's one I'm looking at right now. I don't think it's really moved yet. That was at 4 something just yesterday. Now 6.5. Yeah, we're down here. We're 4.3. Can't I there's nothing I can do there. I'll have to wait on that one. But patterns looking left. Let's get the next correction. Let this react, come back down, and then we go again. Daniel wants to look at CRO, crypto.com, Chronos, whatever you want to call it. This is another one. You look at this, you might think, all right, ran from 8 to 24, but we have to also cross-reference it with these weekly charts. So massive recovery range on this. And when I say recovery range, I mean 382. You go from there all the way back down, and then your 382. That's our minimum level. That's 40 cents. I think that's possible. Can you give me something place to get in on that one so I don't have to chase it? And 88 cents is the 886. Yeah, you have to go like maybe 4 hour or hourly even and keep taking shots. I think maybe even hourly. There was something. Yeah, here we go. And this is actually, I think, permissible. You had the big move and then beautiful bat pattern on the hourly, but here is that type 1 reaction. You got a dot HSI arrow, and then the return move sent it stratospheric. And that's exactly the kind of situation I'm looking for. And we're praying for a pullback in crypto, right? BLZ, Blue Zell. That's like this. Blue Zell, 18 cents. Really nice. Yeah, it was 10. I agree with you. So here's Blue Zell, and that's on Coinbase and a few others. 15 cents, guys. If we can get that back to 15 cents, it's still okay. Going to 31. How about a hourly chart, 5-minute chart? Wait on the hourly. I mean, it's a big thrust today. That was still good at 14 there. Amazing. A couple more. Yes, this is recorded. It'll be posted on the Discord. Someone wants to look at Palantir. Who's that? Yannick? Yeah, Yannick, you got to go to a 5-minute chart. We've talked about Palantir forever. Look at that hourly deep crab. What's it going to do? Type 1 reaction, 68.50. That's probably your next spot. And I would say, look, 5-minute, something like this. There's been lots of 5-minute setups here. Go RTH. Here. That one last week. Yeah, that was a week ago. Look for 5-minute pat on those that are really running. Look for the 5-minute patterns, and another one Palantir just a month ago, not even. Here's one that I've been hitting a lot. I'm doing a lot of day trading of Robinhood, and it's just been really nice. Bat pattern, crab pattern, small crab pattern. These are all on 5-minute charts. And this one, wow, it's above 40 now. But I caught this morning. So my recommendation is go through some of the bigger ones. You can do that on Nvidia, Apple, Meta, like this. Here's Nvidia 5-minute. You're getting plenty of patterns on those 5-minute charts. There's the 5-minute. Gartley, there's a T1, another one. I think Hood, Palantir, What's the other one? Upstart. I mean, these are ones that are really moving. Upstart Holding, UPST. Look at that 5-minute crab pattern. Look for stuff like that. If you're onto something that's really running, okay, wait for 5-minute setups like that. That was beautiful. Couple more. Hollow chain. Hot. HOLOUSD. Hot. Daily. 3 cents. I need a longer data feed. There it is. Okay, sweet. Do you have the software? Metin, I think you do. Well, this is why you get it. 3.6 tenths of a penny. That should be it for now. And then can we come back to 2.6? That would be, listen, you see something like this, posting big pattern looking left, now a bearish pattern. Think of it like that. Let it come back on the retracement, and then we'll blast the return move. And that might take a couple of cases before you really train your brain to think like that. You might just be, oh, it's just going to keep going. Guarantee you got work there at 3.6 tenths of a penny. And there's the Binance feed. So I like this. Look, longer term, that's a hell of a retracement range. You've got a long way to go there. But will you have a 20, 30% pullback? Most likely. Yeah, but I'm not here for the news. I'm not here for the story. I'm just trying to, what your job is to read the harmonic pattern framework and completely separate that from any story, use case application. So and so is buying it. Doesn't matter. You need to read the pattern situation to yourself and what the pattern is telling you to guide your execution. That's how we did Cardano. That's how we did XRP. That's how we did XLM, Bitcoin, and all of them. We just simply read what the pattern situation was presenting to us. Did we have confirmation? Was it type 1, type 2? Where's HSI? Couple more. Chat point, CHPT. CHPT. Charge point. I see what you're getting at, man. I mean, that's not bad, but low floater. Low floater. I mean, there could be something there. 104 at the hop, but you can't break 104. There's others. What about CXAI? Is it CXAI? There's CXAI, but that wasn't the one. It was AI. It was C3. Ah, that was from September. There's the type 2. T2 designation with the dot. Now you went back to back. So this is a nice one. I like this. This is one that really could get moving, but can we get a type 1 pullback? And look at the weekly. I mean, this is where recovery ranges are possible. Look at that. That's a sweet weekly chart. I'm certainly on C3AI. I think you're not going to spend much. You're not going to really spend much time down here in the 30s. If we can have a pullback, that's probably the last one. It reminds me, AI reminds me of Carvana, CVNA. Carvana was like in the daily. Where was it? Daily? No, monthly. I had some patterns here. CVNA. Maybe it's Square. Yeah, Square has a big. Yeah, Square's another one. taking its time. But look, massive shark, 177 is the target. VRNT, not bad. That's a nice one. That's a T2 on the weekly. All right, I'll look at that. Thank you. Type 1 reaction to 36, back down, T2. Now we're in business. Can we get a, I would love to get a retest and a dot maybe in the next few weeks. That's all at 21. 24 is the number though. Why? Because it's an XA level. We do have prior confirmation. So I'm looking in this area right there. I like that one. Thank you. That's a good one. LPSN. That's another low floater. I know it. It's like and I don't want to get dismissive on those. I just think there's a lot others that are running. 89 cents. I really can't do much. I mean, look, yes, you have a massive pattern here. It's a crab pattern, but you could spend forever. You could spend 2 years down there, especially since you had confirmation. And what'd you do? You ran right into bearish confirmation. That would need to reset with some new confirmation. NWL, okay. Newell Brands, yeah, it's a good one. You're going to hit that counter HSI anyway. I like it. Slow mover. You're not going to expect much, and you're going from 10 to 16. Here's the one. Here's VFC. Okay, VF Corp on a monthly basis. This is one of those long, protracted setups here. Where are you? Hold on. I think I have to take off. No, where'd it go? I had a big butterfly here. I'll come back to that. I like VF Corp, but I had a big butterfly. I don't know what happened to that. Doge. Yeah, we can look at Doge. Doge was another one where I was dismissive on it. I think it's kind of done for now, but we had a pattern, a bat pattern looking left. And the weekly dynamics are pretty clear. Your all-time 618. It's pausing here. I think Doge can get close to $1 on this run, but how much further can it go within this allotted time? I mean, there's the 618. That's at roughly around 42 cents. 886 would be like that. I think that's like 65 cents. About 90 billion. But a pause for now. I mean, here's the 4-hour time frame. Come back, retest the green line, guys. And that's the market cap chart. Here's Doge USD. There you go. All right, nice one. 4-hour chart on Doge. So here's another example of why we're going to wait. A lot of people probably chased Doge at 45 cents. Now you have a concrete reason to start looking at 38. XA T2 generated. It's down in here somewhere, maybe as low as 36. No confirmation yet, but heck of a pattern. And beautiful type 1 to T1 dollar sign. Come back down for the T2. Makes sense. Crypto comes in for a few days. But I would line up stuff like this. You're looking for that next launch pad. And for Doge, it's probably 36 to 65. But come down here and finish the job. Justin wants to look at LAC. And I'll tell you what's wrong with LAC. If you measure it by hand, you're going to lose because you're not pulling off the right levels. LAC has been this big pattern for us at 398. Okay, a long time. This is also going to take time. Yeah, if you got to measure it on the monthly for sure. If you go to the daily, you might be pulling from other levels you shouldn't. Again, you have to get the software. It's like you want to avoid those mistakes. Those are avoidable mistakes. You have to get the software. You could be pulling from here, and then your 886 is somewhere like 450 or $5. You don't have to go through that drawdown. There's the monthly. And there's reasons why it's 398 and not 450 or $5. Your ABCD component, your B point, all of this matters. It's 398 and it's going to take time. Now 367. Had one great month, but it's going to take more time. The other thing, are we out of the zone? Have we broken the downtrend yet? No. Like there, we're probably second month. Like last month was the first time we could consider it. Now, still needs time. That could be a tax loss seller. Maybe doesn't even start moving till January. Yeah. VRA on the daily. Veracity, right? Yeah. Yeah, 7/10 of a cent. VRA. Get it on a better one. There's some more data. I'll look at that. That's probably a MEXC candidate, 7/10 of a penny. Okay, good. I like what's going on here. All right, so we do have a bearish pattern. And the bearish pattern can be actionable for the larger move. So this is Veracity. Went right to a shark, and you're printing a dot today. Can you come in like this and then trigger the launch return? I'm going to do the same stuff over and over and over again. That's the uniformity of trying to line up the right spots. But I like that. Can I show how one would get in at ETH around the T2 and where to take profit? You mean Ethereum? No, use harmonic strength index. Don't use RSI. Use HSI and amplified. Use these two indicators. RSI has been optimized for the patterns. HSI has to be demonstrative, meaning it's clearly moving in the counter direction. Like if you were looking for a spot where VRA would stop, it has to do something like this, hit the overbought and come out and even hit to the 50 level. And then you would know that's been done. It's topped out for now. What's the Ethereum? Ethereum's like this. So you're talking about that return trade. I got you. Well, look, we knew that Ethereum had this bat pattern. I even posted it on X back in October. We knew it had to go to a T1. Where's the dot? Because if you were looking for the return move to blast off, think of it this way. The bearish pattern has to finish the reaction. So go dot to dot. And then on the return move, blast through. Now, there wasn't much down here except for the big trend line. I mean, this is what we were talking about. We have been talking about Ethereum, and I have not been that constructive on Ethereum. But we were looking for that return move to come back and send it. And so you're looking for target one as a minimum. Okay, when you're at that 2744 right here, you're thinking 25. 2744 It's a type 1 reaction. T1 has gone on. Minimum move is down to T1 $sign, which is there. Where's the yellow dot go on? Right there. And that was with a big bar. But that sets off the return move where you go back 27.44 in one bar, blast through the hop. That's how you know it's strong. Also, no confirmation here. That's another way to read it. There's better examples. Cardano is the best example. It blasted off, had patterns on the bottom, and then did the move from about 70 to 53 cents and then never looked back. That's the kind of situation we've been looking at on the live streams on YouTube, and that's the same type of move. If you know you're looking for a reaction off the bearish pattern, you're not longing here, and you're waiting for this to stabilize with a dot, preferably green line goes on, that helps to stabilize it and send it. Thank you, David. Yeah, David just posted a nice video on the HSI dot and dot lines, and all of you guys have got those videos in your email inbox. They were sent with the trial or activation. The entry would be around 2,400. Yeah, if you have another pattern. What I'm trying to say is where do you focus your eyeballs and what kind of expectations do you have? All right, because what was there on the 4-hour chart? Some patterns looking left. It was not the best example on Ethereum with back-to-back scenarios. So I'll be clear about that. But it did the T1, and I did post about looking for the return move off of this. After that back completed, it would be the return move that should get that going. But Ethereum was not as good as, say, Cardano with that return, because Cardano, you had patterns looking left. I mean, look, you had the bat pattern, confirmation, and then you had the crab that got there in a heartbeat, super strong. The T1 reaction right there at 53. And that's the one where I, was saying to my people, like, this is it. This is going to explode. Yeah. Also, look, the weekly was so strong. There are a few other things that I look at, no doubt. I want you guys to kind of reinforce the framework, read what's happening to yourself, and that's how you guide your brain to make the proper interpretation. Do you have a pattern? Is it a type 1? Is it a type 2? Do you have confirmation? What is a longer term time frame saying? Cardano just hit the all-time 382 and backed off. That was 130. It was exact. And now Cardano, I'm looking for this to be a retracement. I would love to get Cardano down to like 90 cents, maybe 85 cents for the next step in the process. Not there yet, but I like it. And I think Cardano does eventually make it up to these higher levels. I think Cardano is it goes to like 275 on the cycle. It's a massive 886 retest. But first thrust is done. We looked at a lot of those red. I'll look at Aave for you because that's a great one. And that's just started to move. That one and Monero. Look at this. Aave. I mean, it has woken up. Look at that. Beautiful bat pattern. And look what it did. Look at the low, guys. Amazing. Now you got this pattern. There's T1, no dot. So still higher. Yeah, and now you're finally getting overbought, but that's got a little ways to go. Here's Monero. Monero is waking up. I know they were delisted, but where is it? Yeah, a whole bunch of patterns around 135. Another crab. So what are we going to expect? Type 1 pullback to 184. So next step in the process from Monero is like 184 to 165. And that's a great one to leverage the next return long. So 184, 165 range, looking for some oversold readings and then send it back to 225. The weekly, yeah, look at this weekly. So how do we know this thing's got some mojo? Patterns like this. Butterfly type 1. I know they got delisted, but there's the type 2. Where does this go? Minimum 260. It is a type 2. And look at where the dot happened. The T2 was here, but the dot confirmation came in, my God, 2 years later to optimize the entry. That's how we read it. So let this be a lesson that we're looking for T2 and the dot, and it can be delayed. There, the green line goes on. That is the best setup, period. It can be delayed, but this is where we have the most expectation for any opportunity. And the entry, ideal entry, was all the way back in April. Now we're moving. So, like 8 months later, 7 months later, but we go to T2. That's a really good one. One or two more, guys. One or two more. I only wanted to do like 2 hours. PHA, don't know that one. I like it. A lot of these are going to play catch up. Everyone's bottom fishing for stuff like that. But you do have things at around 13 cents, now 18 cents. What do you do with it? I don't know. I don't want to chase, but yeah, look, you got patterns. Man, where were you about 3 weeks ago? But everything is there. 10 cents. XA levels like 13 cents. If we come back to 13, that would be great. That is insane. I like it. Yeah, and look who won the weekly. Look, the weekly crossed the 50 level back in August and now really taken off. That's a nice one, man. Yes. Captain of Crypto. I like Telor. TRB. This is another one. 88. TRB on Binance feed, though. There you go. Just starting to wake up. Beauty. Here you go. TRB. And you guys are going to like this range. Bat pattern to T1. We retested the line all the way like 64. Jeez, that was just 2 weeks ago. But here you go. This thing could go. Wasn't there? There's weekly oversold too. Yeah, I think you could be at 170 pretty quickly. I don't know. I'll be looking on this. Yeah, the 4 hour. Look at the 4 hour charts. I can't chase it, but I'll certainly keep that on my list. Couple more. PBR. Petrobras. That's Petrobras, but that's not what you want. You want PBR USD. Polka Bridge. Ooh, give me some of that. Oh, come on. With a name like Polka Bridge, why weren't you a week ago, man? We needed that a week ago. I'll have to deny that one. I'll have because that one's got a huge recovery range. Only 8 cents. What's on MEXC? All right. You got me. Oh, we do have a. All right. So did it do it though? Yeah, it did it. You guys are not going to believe what it did. Let me get this into range. Look. Amazing. It did the T1, hit that bar, reacted, didn't get exactly to T1, but it demonstrates the idea, and then do the return surge. I'm looking for candidates like that for sure. I like that. Compound pumping. Okay. That has patterns. I know it does. The price. Oh, you're not kidding. Look at that. And those were all at 46. Yeah, they're all playing catch up. I mean, Bitcoin Cash and Litecoin are like the only two. Bitcoin Cash has probably got some legs here and massive patterns looking left. Yeah, there's a ton of stuff. There's so many things, guys. We could do this all day, but I won't. Listen, let's get over to YouTube tomorrow. Bring your rest of your picks there. I really wanted to do this kind of work through on the software and show you guys what it's all about, how to be thinking about it, and then review. I will get this. I'll be emailing this webinar to everybody. If you're not with the software, here's the deal. Okay, the deal is going to expire next week. So get over to harmonictrader.com. Okay, get there, or select the blog, and Black Friday webinar is here. Oh, that's the wrong one. Hit blog, and the Black Friday special is there, but everything's in your inbox as well. Get with it, and then it's going to go away, and then you're going to lose your chance. At this point, what we're looking for are hit these retracement opportunities. We're looking for this pullback. Let me just wrap up with Bitcoin here. That Bitcoin up at this 96K level. I don't expect it to stay here much longer. The pause is almost over. The pause is over, I think, in less than a week. We hit the level there. It was around the 11th. Yeah, so next Wednesday, we're running out of time. The bearish pattern is losing its mojo, absolutely. And we're looking for that next entry level. You know, it could hang right here for the next several days and then continue higher. But we know we're in a pause. I mean, it's got pause written all over it. But after the pause, and I would say after December 11th, that's when the real cycle, you get that second leg of the real cycle where things really blast off. That's next Wednesday. We will follow up more tomorrow on YouTube. You guys have any questions, get to me at harmonictrader@gmail. Get with the software. If you haven't, you have any questions, just send me a note. Also, get on the Discord. That's where this video will be posted. Thank you, David, for posting that link. Check out the chat. And again, email me, harmonictrader@gmail. Guys, get with it now. This crypto cycle is going to end in 4 months. The bulk of it, 80–90% of the move, is going to happen by the end of April. And it will be over. And you'll have to wait 4 more years for the crypto when we go back to trading stocks for 50% moves, not 500%. All right. That's what I have for today. I'll get this on the Discord as soon as I can, a little bit later. You have any questions, reach out to me. As always, guys, go get them. Get ready. Now's the time. Catch you next time.